Uh, MRssa is being implemented, and in fact, in many of the localities, we have put up the systems. There are, of course, challenges because there's infrastructures to be created, certain level of investments to be made, which we're doing in the different levels in different localities. And many of the localities, the MRssa is being implemented. And most of the localities, in fact, have shown a very positive response, and things are going quite well. So it's incorrect to say that MRssa is not being implemented. So if you go and talk to localities, I'm not saying in all areas it is done, but in large numbers it is being done, and it is being expanded. And the work is in progress because it's a long list of villages and localities. So therefore, obviously, it's not possible for us to implement it everywhere, but the process has started and it's going on. Number two, to bring up a new law, a new system, that's exactly what we are discussing, that there are certain challenges in the MRssa. As I was mentioning earlier, that the old MRssa, in the Act, there are certain provisions that are there, whereas in the rules, there are certain provisions that have been created which do not go along with the Act itself. So, for example, the rules mentioned about the fact that, and this is during the earlier government's time, so they came out with the rules that said that entry and exit checkpoints will be created. Now, if you go back to the Act does not have any provision within the Act that says that check gates can be put up. But the rule says that the check gate can be put up. So now we all know that the rules are made on the basis of the Act. So if the Act does not have the provisions for that, the rules cannot say that you can have check gates. So there is a disconnect between that. For whatever reason it was done that time, that I'm not very sure about. But it does not go in line with the Act itself. So therefore, there are a lot of areas which there's a disconnect, and it's not the Act and the rules are not matching, and all those aspects of the check gates being implemented without the change in the rule in the Act itself cannot be done. So therefore, we had moved forward, if you remember, to amend the Act and bring in these provisions and have a system where we would have the registrations happening. But as you all remember and recall, that we had concerns from the then governor, and we were not able to carry forward the amendments that we had passed in the assembly to enable the provisions of having a system to having a checkpoint where entry-exit will be done. So therefore, those challenges are still there, and we were hoping that through this immigration procedure, is there an option in which we can look into the aspect of this and see if some provisions can be used to enable us as a state government to have that mandate to look into the checking points. So we feel that we need to discuss this, and that's why we are discussing these aspects. Obviously, it will involve many stakeholders. We'll talk to everybody, political parties, organizations, and everybody, and see how we can achieve that mandate.